World News Tonight.
Finally from us this evening, how Herb Hilgenberg became a weatherman. 20 years ago, he took his family sailing on the North Atlantic. He had checked the weather reports before leaving. So when a violent storm reared up and threatened to capsize their boat, he was, to say the least, totally surprised. They made it to safety, and Herb found his calling. Here's ABC's James Walker.
On board the yacht We'll See off the Carolina coast, the Reid family sails alone. The weather on the Atlantic can be unpredictable, so the Reids keep an extra set of eyes on watch.
We'll see. This is Victor Alpha X-ray 498.
Good afternoon, Herb.
Reid checks in with Herb Hilgenberg.
Off Cape Lookout Shoals.
Herb is the Reids' guardian angel at sea. This German-born retired engineer broadcasts from his home near Toronto. You can't miss his house. It's the one with the satellite dishes and the high-frequency radio antenna.
30 light conditions, over.
He calls this a hobby, but for 15 years, Herb Hilgenberg has spent 10 hours a day, 7 days a week in this room, providing personalized marine weather forecasts free of charge.
Moving towards the Bahamas.
Up to 90 commercial ships and ocean-going yachts check in with him every day.
Roger, what's your actual ladder long now, over?
We're currently at 34 degrees, 15.7 north.
Herb jots down their sea conditions, wind speed, and direction. He downloads gigabytes of weather data from the U.S., Canada, and Europe, digests them, and adds the critical ingredient, his experience.
I've been out there. I know what it's like to be beaten up. I can feel for the person who's sitting on their boat.
I had to tack.
Peter Menzel, who has crossed the Atlantic twice with Herb's help, says Herb's tailor-made forecasts are much more precise than official ones.
Herb can see the development of tropical depressions much earlier than they can. So therefore you have an earlier warning.
I would certainly avoid the Gulf Stream because we could have gale to storm force winds there.
Just listening to his forecasts, for a few days in a row, you know how accurate he is.
So accurate that U.S. and Canadian search and rescue call him to find boats that are missing.
We've had those cases where we call Herb and next we know that the case is solved.
I don't want anyone to get into the situation where he has to get rescued. That's what this is all about.
Herb was once asked how many lives he saved.
Roger, so
he counted to 25, then stopped. It was time to go on the air.
Hello, all stations. Hello, all stations.
James Walker, ABC News, Toronto.
That is our report on World News Tonight. Tomorrow on the broadcast, uncovering Iraq's efforts to produce weapons of mass destruction, or trying to. Is that an impossible mission? I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good evening. Good night.